DINOSAURIANS. These creatures serve the Orion Empire in complete service to self. They are a malevolent race that seeks to intimidate mission starseeds, stop our spiritual elevation, and promote fear to lower vibrations. Another of their tasks is to infiltrate the warped minds of weaker humans, planting seeds of misinformation. They wish to push an idea that the nature of the universe is malevolent. Their strong telepathic projection abilities allow them to enter and poison the mind with fear, hate, and intimidation. Though they are third density beings, they use this ability to project into other realms. Draconians. The legendary Draconians are firm believers that they were the very first residents of the universe and that it rightfully belongs to them. They feel total superiority over every other race, especially the human races. They are cold-blooded creatures without emotion like humans. They are built to fight with bodies that indicate it, even emitting a pungent odor that is meant to weaken its enemies. It is common for them to teach their children from a young age that humans are a waste product of the universe, though they don't emotionally attach to their young, letting them mostly fend for themselves. It is their belief that if a child cannot survive on their own, they are weak and deserve their fate. They are a very hierarchical race that takes it seriously, fighting for more meaningful spots in the clan. They are the fiercest tyrannical warriors in the universe. Their life is a never-ending conquest for power and control. They've conquered countless planets covertly from the inside. They are fiercely intelligent manipulators and puppet masters. Their primary means of attack is to alter less evolved civilizations by dumbing down and controlling them from afar. They do this for human food, resources, and underground territory. All the while, the population is unaware that they are being manipulated and controlled. They don't plan for immediate results. They plan everything out meticulously to guarantee their success. They wish to alter our consciousness, preventing us from ascending into the grandeur of the universe. It's been said that they have ruled over Earth from behind the cosmic curtain through 3 bases on our planet. There exists a small group of enlightened Draconians that have escaped to live peacefully or have ascended themselves. These enlightened Draconians want us to remember to judge the individual, not the race at large. They actively participate in breeding programs with humans at their whim. The malicious Draconians participate in breeding programs with humans at their whim. They enter and control the minds of lower vibrational individuals who have been compromised by negative, abusive, or gluttonous acts. Their craft hide in dimensional time pockets not known to man, but known and carefully watched by the Galacterian alignment. Alpha Albino Royal DRACS. These beings are considered royalty among their caste. They are leaders from a long genetic line of rulers. Creatures that stand upwards over 20 feet tall, they are absolutely monstrous creatures with wings and massive muscles of steel. The albino DRACS originally taught the Draconians, who were possibly created by the albinos, that the reptile community was the very first race and that they rightfully owned the universe. They taught them their strategies of domination, divide and conquer, infiltrate and manipulate. It is their cosmic goal to convert all species to a service of self mentality, and when they convert other races, they fold them into their own Orion Empire. The Alphas are the true masterminds behind the draconian grasp of Earth. They will oftentimes leave the controlling of individual humans to their draconian subordinates, while they pull the strings from above. They are short and militaristic in their communication style, with a quick telepathic message and a simple hand gesture when giving a command. The tone of their message and their gesture will convey the seriousness of the mission and the resulting consequences if they are to fail that mission. Dragon DRACS. These monstrous creatures stand up over 30 feet high. They believe in service to self at any cost whatsoever. They do not hesitate to kill or ruin anything that inconveniences them. They believe themselves to be the dragon gods that rule the universe. Not surprisingly, the Galacterian alignment and the Angelic Core have to keep a close eye on them. If these beings commit an infraction against cosmic law, it is imperative that the Dragon DRACS auras are locked to holding cells on prison worlds until they are brought to trial. There have already been many convicted dragon DRACS, alphas, and draconians that have been put to soul death over their horrendous crimes. Dragon DRACS travel in dark art motherships tooled to the frequency of the undermonics, completely undetectable by even the Galacterian alignment. Their crafts are made of organic technology that has been programmed with dark consciousness and evil intent. When they are discovered, they are able to slip from Darkverse to Darkverse or create temporary hidden sanctuaries to escape the Galacterian alignment and angelic core. To the DRACS, it's all a game. ZETA DRACS. This is a slave race created by the Draconians to expand their Orion Empire. Their purpose is to be bred, enslaved, and controlled. Most of them believe in service to self and human races to be scum of the universe. However, some have escaped their reptilian oppressors to become fully conscious, many of which have become part of the Galacterian alignment. ZETA DRACS have a telepathic ability to psychically enter dark consciousnesses in lower astral worlds to collect information and commit atrocious acts. They are also able to become invisible and pass through objects. Reptoids. This race fled the Orion Empire to start their own society. They came across a fully conscious human race who understood their plight, so they helped them. They immediately began blending human DNA into their own genetics to slowly remove their aggressive traits over many generations. The Galacterian alignment welcomed the Reptoids to their program almost 100 years ago. They're a neutral race that prefers to keep to themselves, although they do contribute by sharing their history with star nations and younger worlds who are ready to ascend, especially younger reptilian worlds. These beings communicate by telepathy but also through smell. They release pheromones that project mental images to their receiver. Iguanoids. These creatures are another race bred by the Orion Empire, comprising of half iguana, a quarter human, and a quarter evil gray, and 100% dominant genes. They wear black hooded cloaks, thriving in the darkness while they commit their vile acts of service to self. They practice the dark arts, conjuring gloom all around them. They have a life goal of seeing people fail and preventing them from raising their consciousness. This feeds their egos and satiates their endless thirst for control. They are able to steal a person's inner dialogue and essentially become the voice inside of someone's head, convincing these people that these evil thoughts are their own. Although they have their own struggles, these beings are often treated with disdain by many of the species in the Orion Empire, though they would never speak or act against their superiors as they know they would suffer incomprehensible consequences. Lizardian people. These members of the Galacterian alignment have a society ran by females, not as monarchs, but as social stewards towards enlightenment. They are very analytical thinkers and study social behaviors in many races. They oversee many of their negative reptilian counterparts. They seek to bring as many of them as they can into the light of consciousness. They wish for Earth people to know that reptilian and lizard people are not all barbaric. They only wish to be seen as fully conscious beings who are aware of the true meaning of life, living, and love. When these beings seek to attract a mate, they will project a telepathic form of ethereal music and melodies over clairvoyant airwaves. Reptilians. This race of creatures once occupied Earth and still exists today as our native reptiles that have evolved over time. The vast majority of the Reptilians left their own world long ago to join the Orion Empire. However, they eventually returned in their modern form, occupying our subterranean worlds. These creatures are known to manipulate human elites, institutions, and financial systems. They can be seen influencing religion and militarism. They also destroyed our own documented human history from all records and rewrote it to fit their agenda. Just like many other races, there are some that have started their own benevolent belief systems throughout the universe. Reptile imposter humans. These creatures are a hybridized race that have reptile, soul-infused humans bred with dark intention. They are absolutely indistinguishable from a beautiful Earth human. They are taught how to infiltrate a human society and blend in perfectly. They are created by hybridizing draconians with humans over and over until they are human in appearance. And from here they are propagandized and taught to worship darkness. They are indetectable to most people except human empaths and psychically aware humans. They have lower body temperature and blood pressure, and they will occasionally have their human eyes flicker momentarily to reptile eyes, which can be caught on camera. Imposters are dark telepaths and masters at stealing others' thoughts to learn how to most effectively manipulate them. Rigelians. These creatures are thought to resonate with the cosmic law of one. They carefully select Earth residents to share information and insights with. They want their contactees to share this information with the rest of the world. This race speaks with a series of chirps, squeaks, and what sounds like kissing noises. This typically requires their use of a telepathic translator. Because of this connection, both parties are able to access the entirety of this conversation as a log that can be later accessed. They have their own motherships called Galactic Voyagers and work as neutral benevolent. Royal Dinoids. This monarchy-ruled society follows cosmic law of one alongside the Galacterian alignment. Their master teachers long ago awakened them. They now offer solace in their starseeds to teach their lessons with the people of Earth. Naturally, there exists a sect of dark dinosaur cultures that are negative, aligned with the Orion Empire. These creatures resemble and carry the DNA traits of the Tyrannosaurus Rex and many of the fiercest dinosaurs in our history books. The Royal Dinoids possess a unique healing technique that involved a liquid light substance infused with divine consciousness. Their speech is guttural, but they will typically use telepathy. Saurian beings. These creatures are born with a tail, but upon reaching teenage, it is customary to cut it off so a new, stronger tail will regenerate. And upon reaching adulthood, they are given the option to eliminate their tail permanently. Most seem to prefer it as it can be used for many other benefits. This race lives religiously by the all are one philosophy. They happily align themselves with the Galacterians. However, there are renegade Saurians who have split to align with the Orion Empire. Most of them are fascinated by other star nations' cultural similarities and differences, and they excitedly await the awakening of humanity. They have a heightened sense of smell that is unique to them in the Galacterian alignment. It is useful in other dimensions to sense danger, civilizations, and life in general. They have been known to say that each realm has its own fragrance. Serpent beings. Many of these devout practitioners of cosmic law will connect to Source daily through group meditations. It is believed that some live underneath Earth as well. They will occasionally share spiritual information with Earth humans like the Hopi Indians, who know them as the Shiti, their snake brethrens. There exists a sect of dark renegade serpents that derive pleasure in giving their good counterparts a bad name. Small reptoids. This is a grunt race of genetic creations by the Draconians. They are dispensable creatures with a small percentage of snake DNA. They serve as military scouts and swift, agile attackers. They are instinctual creatures that produce chaos by bouncing from enemy to enemy, dropping them and sinking their poisonous claws and teeth into their enemies. They are essentially the instinct and capabilities of a reptile that are being controlled by a draconian.